We're going to enter a detailed invoice. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the invoice tab, but from the drop down you're going to select add detailed invoice, and it's going to take us to the add detailed invoice screen. And the first question you're going to be asked is the supplier's name. In this case, it's Napa. You're going to want to select the supplier's name from the drop down. You can't just type it in there. You have to select it from the drop down. It's very important. It's a way for the program to link things together. So we've got the supplier in there. The supplier is Napa Auto Parts. The invoice date in this screen recording, but I have set it off to the side so you can see what it looks like. The calendar pops down and you find the date that is on the invoice. Alright, the date on this particular invoice is the 20th of January, so we're going to select that from the calendar, 1/20 of 23. The invoice number is obviously located in different locations on invoices depending on the supplier. But this Napa invoice, it happens to be up in the upper right hand corner. The invoice number is 869677. Okay, so that's the actual invoice number, but I'm going to do something here that is different. I'm going to type it in incorrectly. I'm going to add one more digit. And as I try to move on, at that point, I get a pop-up, and the pop-up says the invoice number does not correspond with the supplier's usual numbering. Do you want to make changes? Hit OK for yes. Hit cancel for no. So we're going to pick OK, and we're going to take that extra digit off of there. The reason this feature is built into the program so you don't accidentally enter an incorrect supplier invoice number. It's not saying you can't do it. You could have the right number of digits and have it within the range that it needs to be in and still be incorrect. But it is a feature that will help prevent the wrong invoice number being entered into the program. So the next field we're going to fill out is the purchase order number, PO number. Alright, the way we do our PO numbers for parts invoices is we use the customer's invoice number. In this case, that's going to be 21939. So we're going to enter that as the PO number. Now, PO numbers are important. If you're not using them, I highly recommend that you start using them. And there is a feature in the program called the anti-fraud report that relies on the purchase order number to generate that report. Okay, so the next field is payment method. So I'm going to hit the drop down. I don't believe it's going to show up for you. But from the drop down I have some choices. One, is it on supplier account? In my case, no. It's PNC. So PNC is the name of my bank. I do my transactions by credit card and pay as you go kind of a situation. Now we're going to go down here to discount. Or let's go back up to PNC real quick. The reason the bank is important is because when you do your reconciliation, it's going to narrow the search down to the bank statement from PNC to find that information that we're looking for to do that reconciliation. So discount would be if you have any discounts that need to be applied to this particular invoice. I would say 99% of the time you're not going to use discounts, but occasionally you'll run into a rare situation where something was discounted. If you want to make a note of that, you can make a note of it by putting the discounted amount in here. Now we're going to go down to the total amount. The total amount of this invoice is $123.33. And again, that's the total invoice. That's everything included. Alright, so now that we have the total invoice amount in there, we're going to go down to these line items. And these line items are the items that you purchased on this particular invoice. So in this case, there's only one purchase, and it's a battery. So we're going to start out with the part number. We're going to put the part number in. Now there's a drop down that just appeared here that you're probably not going to see due to the screen recorder not picking up these drop downs. But it has a list of previous part numbers. Basically what happens is I'll type the part number in there, 6551R, and it appeared in the drop down, so I selected it. So the program's seen that part previously and pretty much has it memorized, and it auto-populated these two fields here. The quantity is going to be 1, and the price is going to be $123.33. The total amount of the invoice, since there's only one item purchased on this invoice. The category that the program's going to put this in is pre-selected. It's parts sold, and the subcategory is customer's vehicle. Now, since this is a battery, there's not necessarily a return. A return would be if you're going to completely return the battery. There is a core on this battery, so we're going to select core. Alright, now we're going to go down here and we're going to hit next. Alright, because we have a core, the program has taken us to a page where you can create a core return slip, which you can use to have the parts people sign when they pick the core battery up. So since we already entered the data, we know that the part number, it's automatically populated, the part name, battery, the return date 1/20/23, the quantity is 1, and the price. This is where you'll put the price of the core in here, $18. And then we have the invoice number, which automatically populated. We selected core from the drop down, and the amount is $18. Now down here you have notes that you can type in here. Let's say there's something special about this core. The core was damaged, or the core doesn't match the original part number. You can put any kind of notes here that you desire to put. And then when you print this box is also used, the parts guy, to sign inside this box that he received the part. And you'll print 2 copies. You'll give one to him and you'll keep one for yourself. So now that you've got everything taken care of, you're going to go to the print button, and then you're going to see this screen here, and it's going to allow you to print